Everyone needs a book for authority. All right. And I have some thoughts that I want to share on that because I feel pretty strongly about this topic. Would it be okay if I talked about those for just a second?
Yeah, let's do it, Jim. Let's hear what you have to say about it.
All right. So, why everyone needs a book for authority. Recently I was at a conference and a real estate agent asked me why I thought writing a book was still important, especially in today's digital world. And I told this person this. First, your book positions you as the expert. Being the authority, being the author of a book instantly elevates your credibility in your industry and establishes you as a thought leader. The second big reason why you should do it is because your book is going to open doors to new opportunities. A book is a powerful networking tool, even if you used it only for that, as a networking tool to be able to walk up to someone, introduce yourself, hand them a copy of your book. And then the third reason is because your book can create income. It allows you to leverage your knowledge, take your insights, package it up. You can sell it as a book, create a course, or even set up a marketing funnel. But the first step, even though everybody needs a book, the first step is to decide that you're going to actually create your own book, because your own book is still the number one way to elevate your authority. It opens doors of opportunities and it generates income. And my friends, it is time to share your expertise with the world. So those are my opening thoughts, Stu. I don't know how eloquent it was, whether it
No,
was
that
under
was good.
60 seconds or not.
I think that's a great way to start off the show, because here's what we're going to talk about, folks,
That's
in 60 seconds or less.
that's right. Well, I got something else I want to talk about, because I think there are a whole lot of beliefs that people have that are wrong, that they need to get over them, because the world's getting more crowded. The world is getting more competitive. It's getting harder and harder to differentiate yourself. Like I said, I was at a conference with, I think, 3 or 4,000 agents. And in the minds of most people, all real estate agents are pretty much the same as you get dressed.
Mm-hmm.
Um, all real estate agents are the same. That's not true. In fact, one of the classes that I actually taught 3 classes. One was on virtual farming. The second one was on how to create a book super fast. And then the third one was on how to get more listings and sales, basically more conversions with story selling, with being able to tell a story. But in the end, your story is the only thing that really separates you from everybody else. Part of telling your story is having a book.
Well, tell me
So,
this, Jim. Did you tell them you're not a real estate agent, that you're a media company that sells real estate?
okay, they would not have understood the media company. But yes, I stood up there on stage and I said to them, because they trotted out these 4 or 5 agents who were like the superstars. And all they talked about was all the stuff that they were doing to market. None of them talked about listing presentations. None of them talked about anything. And I was like, okay, that's it. Those are marketers who happen to be selling real estate. Every single one. In fact, the one who was like the major superstar, she had built up to the top level in not one, but 2 different network marketing companies. Her whole thing, she told her, I'm a marketer. I just happen to be selling real estate now. And so it was, yes, I stood there and I gave him the knife hand and I said, look, y'all got to understand the rules have changed. You are no longer a real estate professional. You are a marketer who sells real estate services. Let that sink in for a minute. And the senior vice president in the back's like, yeah, give it to him, give it to him, give it to him, give it to him. Okay. But that you are a marketer who sells real estate. And a lot of them got it.
That's a good attitude adjustment for any business.
Right.
I realized that real quick um, when social media started coming out.
Right.
Right, I realized I needed to be more than a guy that wrote a book,
Right.
and the guy that does training, locally.
Right. And
Right.
yet people will say to you, oh, well, you're where you are because you wrote a book. I don't have time to write a book. In fact, it's time for kind of rant number 2. Okay. Writing a book doesn't have to take forever if you use strategy and technology. I want you to picture yourself sitting in front of your computer, banging away at the keyboard, trying to write a book from scratch. And immediately it feels like an uphill battle right from the start. But what if you could harness the power of technology, strategy, and AI tools to create an amazing book super fast? Well, you can, but there are 3 false beliefs you've got to get past. These are what hold 99% of people back. False belief number 1, you need to spend years writing and editing to produce a quality book. False belief number 2, only professional writers can write a book that positions them as an authority. And false belief number 3 is AI tools can't match human creativity, so they're not worth using. Now, here's the truth. You can write your own authority building book super fast using AI. We've actually helped hundreds of people to do it. But the first step is to decide that you're going to write your book. And do not let these false beliefs hold you back. Strategy, technology, and AI will make your book writing journey a breeze compared to sitting down and trying to bang it away from scratch. So that's probably the biggest thing. People are like, yeah, it's kind of like working out. People want to have worked out. People want to have lost weight. People want to have gone to the gym, but nobody wants to work out. Nobody wants to go to the gym. Nobody wants to diet. It'd be great to have a book, but I don't have time. That's only for professional writers. AI can't really do a good job. All of those are false beliefs. Every single one of you could be an author. This book right here, I used AI to write it, to help me write it in 5 days. Okay. It's good book with real words that actually teaches people stuff. And the neat thing is, as I was writing it, I was actually learning too. So Stu,
Yes.
what are your thoughts on all of this if we're talking about books and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, especially if we're talking about a real estate agent.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that is how good of a business card is having a book to hand somebody if they're thinking about selling a home.
Well, it's a lot better than sending them just a regular old paper card. And it's interesting how all the different business cards that people were handing out, some of them were laminated, some of them were different sizes, some of them, nothing wrong with them. Man, it's a lot better than the business cards I was handing out. All right. What's the cheapest stuff you got? I'm going down to Kinko's. What's the cheapest set of 1,000 cards you can do?
Yeah. Got my.
But in the end, your business card by itself can't differentiate you because, in the case of a real estate agent, you're perceived as a commodity. Until you prove that you are not a commodity, you are a commodity. But the thing is, I'm not picking on real estate agents. I love real estate agents. This is just a truth about marketing and business. We're all a commodity until we prove we're not, until we prove that we have value. Well, guess what? You show up with a book on a topic that's important to your target audience, all of a sudden, you're not a commodity so much anymore. So in the case of a real estate agent, if you're showing up to a meeting with a buyer with something of value, all of a sudden, you're not a commodity. Same thing with a seller, a for sale by owner, expired listing, an investor. Showing up with a book, showing up with value, at least separates you from the pack. If everybody else is like, take my card, take my card, take my card. And then there's a bunch of other ways that you can do it too. But
Well, I mean, I think one of the biggest things is, it's not just a business card. You can
no,
use a book to create really nice income
sure.
as well.
Yeah. Well, but here's the thing. With a book, there's 2 ways. I'm going to go to the board real quick. I guess we've gotten into the interview portion of the show. But you can make money with a book, and you can make money because of a book. That's because, that's shorthand right there, just in case you were wondering. So with the book, you make sales of the book itself. Okay. You can make sales from inside the book. So you put in your affiliate links and other stuff. Okay. But it's basically from book sales. Now, where you really make money is because you have the book. So, and I'm in fact over here with the money, you can, with the book, you can have a book funnel where you have one-time offers and other stuff like that. I mean, we made a crap ton of money selling copywriting secrets and then back ending it with software. But let's talk about because you have a book. In the case of a real estate agent, you get a listing or you get a buyer, you know, depending on your, you know, you sell $1 million house, and what's 3% of $1 million? A lot. Okay. A lot more than you make off selling a book for 20 bucks. And it's like, I told them, you know, if you, let's say you wrote a book, let's say you wrote a book and you had 100 of them printed up and they ended up, you know, from Lulu or something with shipping. Let's say 100 of them was 500 bucks with shipping. So like $5 a pop. So, and then being smart, you got 100 of those books out into the universe, into not just throwing them at people like, hey, take my book, take my book, take them, but like thoughtfully distributing them. You get those 100 books out into the universe, chances are in the next 12 months, one of them is going to result in a deal. And if that's true, would you spend 500 bucks to make 3%? How many times a week would you do it? As many as I could. So speaking engagements, networking, joint ventures, list building opportunities. You can make a lot more money because you have a book than you can with a book. I was making tons of money with my janky spiral bound for sale by owner book that was never published anywhere except by Kinko's. I made more money with that than I ever would have made if somebody had published it. So that's what you need to understand, is that everybody's thinking they're going to make money with the book. That's everybody's original dream. That's why I spent 4 years writing my book, because I'm going to get it published and the publisher's going to send me royalty checks and I'll make, you know, my feet up on the beach while I'm a famous author. Yeah, not. I don't know anyone that's ever happened to. You had the same dream too, Stu, admit it.
Yeah. I thought there was definitely going to be more money in royalties.
But now you're selling ebook versions, you're speaking, you get coaching. I'm assuming you make a lot of money from your coaching.
Yes.
Relative to, but would you sell any of that coaching if you didn't have the books?
Probably not. I mean, the books are definitely get people to the sites.
Right.
You know, and the articles that talk about the books, and yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So it's everything. The books give you the credibility for people to buy the stuff that really makes you the money. The book gives you authority. And that's what we're after. We're after the authority that being an author gives us. And by the way, you can't have authority without author.
Damn.
You got me there. You can't have
come up with
authority
that? 'Cause
without.
that's a good one.
No, dude, I've been using that for a while.
That's a good one.
You can't have that's why I tell my wife all the time. You can't have terrific without Terry. Okay, so a little butt kissing because I know she's watching. So this might score me. This might score me a good sandwich for lunch. Love you, honey. So the big thing, the big difference, though, we talked about technology and strategy. What's the big leap forward? I mean, I've been for the last 25 years teaching people how to write books, writing a whole bunch of books myself. Tens of thousands of people have bought everything from 7-day ebook to WriteYourBook.ai. And the big game changer, the watershed moment, if I look back on this, you know, self-publishing, the big watershed moment before this was Amazon, because what makes your book a real book is great looking cover, quality content, and it's published on Amazon. That's what makes it a real book. So When Amazon came out with the Kindle, when Amazon made it so that we could all publish our book on Amazon, be published on Amazon, look the same as a book that was published by HarperCollins or Penguin or whatever, that was a big deal. Then when they bought a company called CreateSpace and then made it so we could take our Kindle book and easily and quickly turn it into a print book without ever having to print any of them, big deal. Print on demand. Okay. Now, the advent of AI has taken it from here to here. And that's why we created the WriteYourBook.ai program.
So as it has evolved, how has, technology has also evolved. How have your strategies evolved?
Well, one of my strategies for doing this stuff is that, like, I make a lot more notes than I used to make. So, like, even for this show, I create show notes. AI can help me do that. So if you like scroll down the show notes, then you'll see, I had the first two things that I wanted to do. Then I've got the questions that we're going to go through, and then we're going to do some demos. So I think AI has actually helped me to get a lot more organized. And the main benefits of using AI to create a book, or the strategies, is that the emphasis is less on teaching people how to create. And now there's a lot more emphasis on teaching them how to use frameworks and then be able to edit and curate the content that we use AI to create within those frameworks. So, like, one of the types of books that we teach people to write is a mistakes book. Now, that's not nothing new, as they say down at the Language Academy in the swamps. But what has changed is, rather than taking a month to teach people how to write a book, a mistakes book, like if you remember back in the day, like 10 years ago, you remember when we did that? Yeah. It was the 28-day book. We taught people how to write a mistakes book. In fact, that was your first bestseller on Amazon, if I remember correctly.
It was. And by the way, I had over 30 books, 10 of them published at that time.
Right.
And you taught me how to write a book and get it up on Amazon.
And turn it into a bestseller. So, it's AI just is the accelerator, and it has shifted where the energy and effort gets expended. All the energy and effort was getting expended on creation now, and 10% was going into polishing and promotion. Now, 10% goes into creation, and you have 90% to spend on polishing it, putting your soul into it, and really making it awesome. So those are really the main benefits of using AI to help you create an authority building book.
Nice. So what do you think is the biggest reasons that are holding people back from getting this done?
So, like, what are the pitfalls?
Yeah, I guess you could call them pitfalls. You could call them false beliefs.
I think what you need to understand is the difference between artificial intelligence and what I think some people are thinking of it as automatic intelligence. And what do I mean by that? Is that it's a tool. It's something to help you come up with that first draft. It's like an assistant that you hire. But ultimately, it's up to you to edit it, polish it, make it your own. I talk a lot about putting your soul into the content, all right? Because, again, what makes us different? And so soul basically means, okay, I'm going to take this and I'm going to put my unique stories into it. Because, by the way, your stories are the only things that make you different. Opinions. You know what they say about opinions, Stu? Everybody's got one. Well, people who pay attention to you want to know your opinion on stuff. That's basically the whole influencer game right there. I like that post you did the other day about I'm a coach, not an influencer. I like that. Okay. Unique perspective. we're drowning in a sea of information, and we're thirsty for knowledge. We're thirsty for wisdom. We're thirsty for a unique perspective. All right. And finally, you just got to breathe life into it. Most of the content that AI kicks out, no matter how great the prompts that you bought off of Facebook. Oh, I got 2,000 prompts for 99 cents from an influencer. There's got to be a good one in here somewhere. No matter what you do to have the AI spit something out, it's lifeless until you breathe some life into it, until you've curated it, until you've made it your own. And so the biggest pitfall, the single biggest pitfall, is taking raw output from any AI tool and thinking you're done.
Yeah.
Because you're not. So that's probably the biggest pitfall.
Oh, I like that. So do you want to hit the some good questions here? Quick Q&A discussion.
I thought we were already doing that.
No, yeah. I'm going to start with question number 1 right now.
Okay. All right. Let's do it.
All right. So because I think a lot of people need to hear this one, because I obviously bounced around a little bit, because you got a lot done in that quick little first 5 minutes. So anyway, let's do this. Let's just start here.
We're rapid firing.
And I want to know, like, what inspired you to create WriteYourBook.ai?
So what inspired me to create WriteYourBook.ai was 2 things. One, the fact that we've been teaching people the last 25 years how to write and publish their own outrageously profitable ebooks and books. Okay. Whether it's from book sales or using them as a $29 business card or any other way you want to leverage it. So I knew we've been creating copywriting software and content creation software now since 2007. Our wizards. Well, wizards have been around for a long time, finest on the planet. I knew about 2.5 years ago when I first saw the first iteration of GPT, it was GPT-2. And I'm like, okay, this is the future. It's not there yet, but it's coming, and I need to get ready. So I spent almost $100,000 developing my own GPT-2 large language model. Blew a lot of money on it. About the time we were getting it pretty dialed in, GPT-3 came out. Now, at the time, Microsoft slurped it up. They were like, hey, we like this. No one else can play with this but us. Then it started coming out. Finally, OpenAI came out. And I'm like, okay, this is the future. And I also said, and you remember when I said this too, Stu, within 6 to 12 months, there are going to be so many AI experts out there in the world, it's going to make you sick. And now we have a ton of people that are AI experts.
That is true.
And I knew that one of the things that they would start doing was teaching people how to use AI to write a book. I just knew it was going to happen. So I'm like, okay, I can either watch it happen or I can actually help people do it. You can go to YouTube right now and research, use AI to write a book. Most people are teaching you how to write a kid's book. Okay. Not a real book. And so I took my knowledge the last quarter century, teaching people how to write many different styles of books, and applied what I've learned from the last 16 years of developing our wizards and copywriting software, and then plugged AI into an existing process that actually is proven to get results. That's what inspired me to do it, was actually to create something that actually worked, rather some janky-assed crackerjack level prize that people are trying to kick out there just to get a quick buck. And I also knew that Amazon at some point was going to start watching, because I knew that the same chuckleheads that do everything and ruin it for everybody were going to start trying to flood Amazon with a whole bunch of low quality ebooks that had about as much editing as a kindergartner's, home essay test. And I knew that that was going to happen. So we focus on quality as well, not just churning out some crap and throwing it up there. So that's why, to actually make it into a real business tool using AI instead of monkey business. So that's what inspired me.
Nice. Well, tell me this, because I am just as excited about WriteYourBook.ai as everybody. But you know what makes me even more excited about it, Jim? And this
What's
is
that,
going a
Stu?
little bit off the show notes.
Okay.
Is I want to know your kind of ups and downs of creating that. Tell me, like, your hero's journey, so to speak, of going from, hey, I got this great idea, I want to do this. Now, I know there were some times where you had to readjust and figure out and get a little discouraged and bring yourself back up, up the hero's journey mountain side. I want to hear that
As far as
as
use,
far as your creation story.
as far as the creation of the software, or the
Yes,
creation.
yeah, the write your own book.ai phase, because the reason why I want to do this is, like, we all kind of have our own little hero's journey in business.
Mhm.
As we get an idea, we go down that thing, and next thing you know, you have a business. Now you have a new product, and that product has its own little hero's journey, right? There's a little bit of struggle involved in everything. There's things to learn, there's new strategies, there's new technology that you have to embed or implement, and it's always a learning curve. So
Yeah,
I think these are really neat stories of everybody. I talk to everybody about their business journey, or even the struggle in life too. Um, and I'm always fascinated by that. So, real quick, if you can, just reflect on making that journey, because I'm sure the last 12 months weren't smooth sailing.
oh, the last 12 months has been like lighting a rocket ship that I built out of tin cans and forced my poor staff to try and keep duct tape together. I don't maybe that's overly, it's felt that way, but that's not the way it was, because I never want to put out something that's junk. So everything we do gets fully and totally tested, and everything from the ability to handle the server volume, to encrypting the prompts going back and forth with the different AI models, to tweaking the models and the frameworks and all that stuff. It's just been, it hadn't really been like, it's been a rocky road, but it's at the forefront of it has always been, we have to create something that's useful. I'm not just going to put something out there. I'm not just going to put out some chat bot because everybody else has added AI to their thing. So, I see this all the time. Everybody's, oh, we have AI now. No, you don't. What you have is some janky ass chat bot that you paid somebody on Fiverr $100 for them to give you some code that hooks in with OpenAI's back end, and you slapped a link into your software. That's what you did. And so the hero's journey has been kind of to educate people about, just because it says AI doesn't mean it's actually doing anything other than being a chatbot. It comes down to the frameworks and everything that's in use to actually get you a result, instead of just creating another job for you. And that's, it's just been interesting. It's been really busy. I mean, if you think about what we've done in the last year, we totally rebranded our company. We
Yeah.
went from content marketing scripts to copying content.ai. We went from, the wizard model to the Genie model. All the rebrand, all the retraining people, all the different, models that we had to try. It's just been, it hadn't really been a hero's journey. It hasn't been like any lows and stuff. It's just kind of been,
Yeah.
taking a Jeep with absolutely no
Suspension.
and going over tank track wrecks, but it's been fun.
I
But,
got you.
you know, so it's
No,
just,
I was just always I'm always curious about how that works for.
I need a break for a week. And
for
so do the
everybody.
girls.
Yeah.
I know they're tired of me. I know they'd like to rip my head off.
Well, tell me this. How about making this book that you create, any book, whether you do it with AI or you do it purely on your own template form, how do you make it stand out from the competition? What are you think the most important keys to make that happen?
Number one, you got to know your avatar really, really well. I sound like a broken record with that, but you got to know your avatar. You got to know the person, because you got to know what keeps them up at night. You got to know what gets them excited, what has them scared, all that stuff. And then the second thing is that your book has to be very specific, have a very specific payoff or a problem that it solves. That's the other thing. Is it's like an offer. The book is an offer to a specific group of people. Those are the things that do the best, not just some general book of general stuff, because people want to buy a book to get a specific result or to solve a specific problem. That's what's going to set you apart. Hi, my name is Jim Edwards. My job is to help you put words on paper or on a screen, or to have come out of your mouth to get people to buy, try, click, sign up, or call you on the phone. Here's a book I have on that topic. I also can show you how to analyze people's personality and communication styles and use that to massively increase and improve the quality of your communication. That's what this book is about, the secret sales code. So now it's like, oh, snap. You see what I'm saying? It's very specific. That's how you're gonna stand out, and that's how you make it stand out. As opposed to, if you don't do that, then your book's just gonna suck. But it's better than not having a book. So I'd rather have a book that was general and maybe okay, as opposed to not having any book at all. I will tell you that. But I will only teach you how to write a book that rocks as well as you can make it rock. That's my job.
Nice.
Would you like to know my why, Stu?
Tell me your why.
Would you like to know the why that is my mantra every single morning before I start work?
Yeah.
My why is to help entrepreneurial professionals get more leads, make more sales, and build stronger, more profitable relationships with the people they're called to serve using our AI, Genies, wizards, training, tools, and more, while using my business as a vehicle to help my team and myself live our best lives.
I like
that's
that.
That's my why.
You know what you need? You need a "What is my why" genie.
Okay, I'll work on that.
Just to help us work that thing, because that's a great elevator speech.
Yeah,
if you have less than 30 seconds to say, what do you do? This is what I do.
Yeah.
Well, how about this? How about showing us some genies? Show
Okay.
us how to write some books.
So one of the things that's important when you're writing a book is being able to tell the story about you, about the author. And interestingly enough, it's one of those things that sometimes you need to be sold on yourself before you feel confident enough to write a book. Because a lot of times we take what we do for granted. And so what I want to show you now is I'm going to show you the author bio genie. And what the author bio genie does is it helps you to write a kick-ass bio about yourself for your book. And so it's going to ask you some things like, what's your name? What are your relevant credentials? In other words, for a book about sales copy, I don't really want to hear about the fact that you were an Eagle Scout. All right. If we're going to do something about writing a book or something like that, then best-selling author, copywriter, speaker, Amazon bestseller. Okay. So now the bio list, bullets like selling online successfully since 1997, written dozens of best-selling books, dozens of sales letters, ads, written ads that have gotten millions of clicks and views, author of the bestseller Copywriting Secrets, creator of the web's #1 niche for copywriting content creation software. So here would be a potential topic or title for a book: Copywriting Hacks for Entrepreneurs, How to Write Copy That Sells Without Wasting Time. Our avatar is an entrepreneur, area focus, writing. Let's do high converting sales copy. And #1 result they want is write sales copy that converts lookers into buyers like crazy. Now, we'll use we can choose whatever writing tones we want, but we'll do inspirational, informal, we'll do general writing style, and then we'll do third person, have it write it about me, because typically that's how your author bio is done. So now this is AI. All right. AI is going to write my general author bio. So this might go on my website, right? I can have it also try and do it in one sentence, but the more crap that I pack in there, it's going to make it kind of long. And then this one down here with the inside the book author Genie, this is what would be written in a way that it might show up on the inside flap of your book. So thinking about this on my website, envision this on my website, maybe in what we call my authority center. Introducing Jim Edwards, the world's most successful copywriter. Hey, I might change that because that's a little bit much, but I mean, thank you for the compliment, AI. I appreciate you. Are you an entrepreneur looking to write high converting sales copy that turns lookers into buyers like crazy? Then you need to meet Jim Edwards. Jim's been selling online since 1997, written dozens of best-selling books, sales letters, and ads that have grossed in the tens of millions of dollars and gotten millions of clicks and views. His international bestseller, Copywriting Secrets, has inspired entrepreneurs around the world to write their own copy that sells, and his #1 niche copywriting content creation software makes it easier than ever before. That's why Jim Edwards has written Copywriting Hacks for Entrepreneurs, How to Write Copy That Sells Without Wasting Time, so that entrepreneurs like you can learn the secrets of copywriting quickly and easily. With his vast experience and expertise in writing persuasive copy that converts, Jim's uniquely qualified to take you on a journey of learning that will help you reach your goals and create an online presence that attracts customers who buy. Start your journey to writing high converting copy. Grab your copy of this. So again, that got me pretty far down the trail pretty quick. Yeah. Now I can change some stuff. I can try, let's say if I wanted to read like the Wall Street Journal, and maybe I want it to sound a little bit more professional. Okay. So I can hit that again, and we'll just hit that one instead of hitting all the others, but it should be significantly different as far as the writing style. The information in there is going to be the same. All right. So look at this headline: Unlock the secrets of high converting sales copy with Jim Edwards, best-selling author, copywriter, speaker, and Amazon bestseller. Are you an entrepreneur looking to write high converting sales copy that turns lookers into buyers? Look no further than Jim Edwards, best-selling author, copywriter, Amazon bestseller, blah, 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 blah. Jim's written dozens of books. He's the author of international bestseller to help entrepreneurs reach their goals with writing. Jim has written the book, blah, blah. This book's packed with tips, tricks, and strategies to help entrepreneurs write effective sales copy quickly. It's a perfect guide to help entrepreneurs write copy that will turn. So it's different. I mean, it's significantly different.
That's nice.
Okay. So the cool thing that this does for you is it gives you options. The hardest draft is the first draft. So you come up with the draft, and again, it'll write a one-sentence one for you that's actually in some cases is like a paragraph, but on social media or something, if you need. Jim Edwards is uniquely qualified to help entrepreneurs write high converting sales copy that converts lookers into buyers quickly due to his decades of experience and success in online selling, writing best-selling books and ads, and creating the web's #1 niche copywriting and content creation software. That's pretty good without any edit. So again, that could go in social media. That could go in, like if you're in a program or something, like in a speaker lineup, and they need, hey, send us your 50-word bio or something. That's a great place to start. Okay. So again, this one is for the inside of the book, but having a great bio is critical. And this Genie makes it easy for you to get that first draft put together in a way, as opposed to just a regular about me. This is written in a way that it's going to help you sell the book that you want to put it into, as opposed to just a general bio. Plus, it's targeting your avatar. So this has a whole bunch of cool things baked into it instead of just doing a, hey, here's my bio I've been using for the last 10 years because I wrote it and, it's good enough. Now it's pulling in not just you and your bio, but also the person that's going to be reading this and writing it in such a way that it's going to be relevant to the person. So that is the author bio Genie, and it's just one of a suite of genies that we have to help people write their books and all the stuff you need for your book, including the bio.
Nice. I like that. I also like that one sentence section. Whenever I was asking you about what's your why, that
Right.
came in pretty close.
It helps. I mean, again, it's one of those things where if it's a lot easier to start with something and edit it than it is to stare at a blank page and not have any idea what the heck you're going to say, especially if you're tired, if you're stressed, if you've got other stuff going on. Because I don't know about you, but I'm more busy now than I've ever been, even though this computer and this AI was supposed to make my life easier.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Just saying.
My phone is not taking out my workload.
Yeah.
My computer is not either.
Yeah. There's just more going on. So let me show you another one. So one of the things that people don't realize is that your book has a whole bunch of, you've heard the thing of hook, story, offer, and the main hook in your book is the title and the subtitle, but you have sub hooks. You got to hook people inside the book. And one of the ways you do that is with having effective chapter titles. I can give you $1 million tip right now. An effective chapter title is not chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4. Okay. Those are not compelling chapter titles. Why are chapter titles so important? Because what makes your book a real book? Great looking cover, real content, published on Amazon. What's the number one thing you can do on Amazon? Before you buy a book, you can look inside. When you look inside, they show you a certain percentage of the book. It varies. You're always pretty much going to be able to see the table of contents.
Right.
People scan the table of contents. Why are they scanning the table of contents? To see if there's anything new in the book, to see if there's anything exciting that they don't already know. So each one of those chapter titles actually functions almost like a little classified ad for that chapter. So you got to have really good chapter titles. Unfortunately, coming up with really great chapter titles can be difficult unless you have the Mistakes Book chapter title Genie. Now, we teach people how to write a number of different styles of books depending on which challenge we're running. So this is just one of our book chapter title Genies. This one creates chapter titles for a mistakes book. So Stu,
yes,
we're going to write some chapter titles for your folks.
Okay.
So your ideal, do you want to do athlete over 40 or what?
No, let's go with the younger guy. I'm sitting here looking at my mistakes book I wrote recently. And I'm looking at the chapter titles.
Okay.
And
So
I have to say, these are some of my best chapter titles ever.
Okay. So Spec Ops Candidates is your avatar.
Yeah.
And give me an area of focus for a specific chapter, like something about a PT test or something like that. I mean, crushing your PT test, or
yeah, let's say, yeah, train for the specifics of the test and selection.
So number one avatar's number one and most important area of focus for chapter is train for the specifics of the PT test you need to crush in order to make it to the selection process. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. And so what's the mistake? What's a mistake that they make in this area?
They fail to assess their strengths and weaknesses.
in physical fitness?
Yes.
Okay. And what's the opposite of that? So the opposite of that is to what?
Focus on your weakness, maintain your strengths.
So focus on improving your weaknesses.
Yes.
And maintaining your strengths. Okay. All right. Now, writing variable, let's do, you want to do authoritative, or which one do you use? Oh, okay. We'll do authoritative.
Let's try it. I've never used that one, but let's try it.
Concise. And what do you want to do? Entrepreneur, BuzzFeed, National Enquirer, Good Housekeeping. We'll do that.
Yeah.
Just for grins. You're like, that wasn't the one I would do. I know.
I've never tried it.
So we'll do
I was going to say Mad Magazine, but
dialed in. Okay, so we have a couple different options. All we need is one good chapter title for this. So you would do this for each of your chapters, each of your mistakes. Taking a one-size-fits-all approach to PT, why it fails. Uncovering your hidden weaknesses, the key to spec ops success. I like that one. Don't let your strengths go stagnant. How to maximize is the importance of self-assessment, why it's essential for spec ops candidates. I like that one too.
Yeah.
Strengthening your weaknesses through targeted training, the secrets to spec ops selection. Dude, that's a great article title.
I was just thinking of like, man, that's a great article. That's a great article. That's a great article.
Ignoring your strengths at your peril. What spec ops candidates need to remember. That's a cool little twist.
Yeah.
Avoiding the common mistakes, analyzing your strengths for optimal, failing to assess a costly error, essential physical assessment, maximizing your chances for PT test selection. I like this one too, because it's like assessing strengths and weaknesses. So out of that, just first glance, you had 4 or 5 really cool chapter titles that would work for creating a mistakes title on that chapter title. And what got your attention is the curiosity inducing part of it.
Yes.
So we also got ideas for articles or videos, and these would make, actually some of these would be cool, like 60-second video.
Yeah. Those 60-second videos and a great article out of those 10, easy.
Yeah.
Couple of them.
Yeah. But without the Genie, you'd still be there scratching your head going, what the heck?
Yeah. And like right now, I'd like to write another article for my website. Right. But sometimes I need ideas to write about. So I look at questions that have been emailed or DMs and comments that people have made, and those usually give me ideas. But that was a great source of ideas, which I will be using again later today.
So Stu's I normally know it's good when Stu's like, hey, could you send me that? And so I download, I'm able to download those. For those of you who aren't familiar with how the Genies work, I'm able to download this as a Word doc with all of those in it, so I could use them for whatever purpose that I wanted. And then Stu has to send me stuff in order for me to send that to him.
Yes. I do request that formally.
There you go.
But I was just going to go in and do it myself, but I appreciate you saving me a moment.
Okay. It's the golden minutes. So, Susan, do we have any questions from the folks we need to hit? Would you like to join us? Hi, Susan.
Hi, Jim.
What you got? Let's wrap this up with some questions.
All right. From Paul, he asked thoughts on what level of writing it should be written at. I've heard KIS, keep it simple, but written at a freshman level for general audience.
You hear this stuff, 5th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade, people are stupid. Just write it in clear, plain language that people can understand when they're distracted and busy. That's the key.
Yeah, I've never really thought about writing for an age.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, I just try to write concise, clear, not too sciencey that it makes someone feel like they're in a science class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's to help them. It's not homework. If they're having to look up words or think about what you're doing, it's a problem. It's one of the first quotes in my book is from Albert Einstein that basically says, if you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. I mean, that's one of the two display quotes. All right.
Yeah.
Don't try and prove how smart you are. Prove how smart you are by actually helping people get results quickly. What else we got, Susan?
Brad's asking about your new disc book, if it's been available yet.
We need to, I promised that to everybody. We need to put that into the membership set, a membership for copying content. We'll get that in there. It's available on Amazon, but we'll give you the ebook version of it if you're an elite member inside of copyingcontent.ai.
All right. Right now, that's all I have.
Okay. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. All right. Well, I think we're going to wrap this up because in 8 minutes, Stu and I have to be on for Genie hacking. Genie hacking is going to be amazing. If you're a member, if you're an elite member, that means you can be in Genie hacking. If you're not an elite member, if you're not. Yes.
We had somebody send in a question just at the last second. Stuart Alexander asked, when is the next book writing challenge coming?
The next book writing challenge is going to be January 15th. We will be running a Black Friday special on it. You can go to WriteYourBook.ai right now and get on the early bird notification list.
It's WriteYourBook.ai/early right now.
Oh, yeah. WriteYourBook.ai/early. Shouldn't we put it on the main page too?
I'm going to now.
Okay, cool. All right. I don't know. I just work here. But yes, we got great question, Stuart. Love you, brother. And January 15th, get on the early bird notification. We will be making one heck of a deal on Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So, okay, so back to my original close of, if you're not an elite member of copyingcontent.ai, you should be. And if you join in the next 7 minutes, you'll get the link to be able to jump into the Genie hacking, where Stu and I are going to be going over some really cool stuff with, I'm releasing 2 new Genies today. I'm revealing 2 new Genies today. The 60-second shorts and the 60-second short hooks. And also we're going to be demoing how Stu is able to have links and calls to action for his products inside of his shorts.
My YouTube shorts.
Yeah.
Basically, I linked my store to YouTube. And it is awesome. It is awesome.
Yes, it's awesome. You show me I do it. I just thought of you having writing stuff with a Sharpie calls to action, like back in college. So anyway, everybody take care. Elite members, we'll see you over on the Zoom link here in about 5 minutes. Appreciate y'all. Have a great day. Bye-bye.